estate investing. And so there's this term that we use in real estate investing called house hacking. This can be when you buy a quad, which is a fourplex, and you have two options with this. House hacking specifically is when you're owner occupied. So in one of the units of the quad, you are actually living there. In another scenario, not necessarily house hacking, but another investing opportunity, is you buy a quad and you actually fill it with all of tenants. Now, what most people don't realize is there's actually a different perspective when you're talking about insurance on owner-occupied versus an actual rental of 4 different units. So today I have Eddie with Goosehead Insurance, and tell me a little bit more about what we need to pay attention to.
Yeah, so we're looking at a couple of different things when a property is owner-occupied versus non-owner-occupied. On owner-occupied property, we have a little bit less liability exposure, so we don't need as much liability coverage, right, potentially. But we're looking at personal belongings. We're looking at loss of use coverage, because if that's your primary residence, and let's say you have a water pipe that bursts in the house, you can't live there, what do you do? Do you have money to go live elsewhere? Do you have another house? Do you have a second home? Most of us don't. Can I afford to rent a hotel? So we'll look at things of loss of use coverage, and we'll look at higher personal belongings coverage, because if somebody wants to break in and steals your property, you want that replaced. Now, if you're a landlord and you're using that as an investment property, you're not living in any of the units, do we care about the personal property? No, because you don't have anything there. All the personal belongings are of your tenants.
And that would be the rental insurance that would cover their personal belongings.
Yeah, we need to recommend that your tenants, your renters, have renter's insurance, which, you know, again, on average, probably $15 a month, translating to about $180 a year. Require that. Tell your insurance agent that you're requiring your tenants to carry renter's insurance. Get proof. That's a discount. You want to talk about saving money? That's a very quick and easy thing to do.
I would add get proof on a monthly basis. I spent some time in property management, and there's lots of horror stories because you only find out when the worst happens, where they would provide proof of insurance upon move-in and then cancel their policy a month later. So when, you know, what hit the fan and they needed to use the insurance, they no longer had it. So to add to yours, make sure that with your rent payments that you're also getting a copy of the current insurance.
Yeah, and then, you know, many investors, you know, one of their nightmares probably, right, or as a landlord, I don't know if it's their main one, but mine would be is I have to evict my tenant. That's one process. Now, what happens if that tenant gets mad at you and wants to quote-unquote seek revenge and then decide to sue you for wrongful eviction?
Yeah, because that never happens. We've never seen concrete poured down the pipes or literally things removed from the house or every single cabinet destroyed in the house, because they get upset and people are what they are and emotions take over.
So we do need to add on a little endorsement, and that's something I'll talk to my landlord clients about, is let's add on personal injury for landlords. Again, that might be only $25 to $30 a year add-on, $500,000 liability coverage. Go ahead. If they want to sue me for wrongful eviction, turn it over to the insurance company, let them defend me.
Awesome. So we get our defense for free, and the attorneys are included in that?
The attorney's free. I mean, I don't have to come out of pocket. That's, you know, a beautiful part as an investor. So like I said, we're going to change out the insurance policies. We'll adjust coverages. We're going to remove things like personal belongings. We don't need that. Now, what else do we need? We need loss of rents coverage. Because what happens if one of your units does burn down, now you can't rent that unit out. Now you've got no cash flow coming in. How are you going to pay that mortgage? You probably still have a mortgage on that property. We got to figure that out. So loss of rents become another vital coverage that we need for landlords.
That's fantastic. So I'm hearing if something happens, not only can you make sure that if you are occupying it, that every single item in there is covered. If you do deal with an issue with a tenant, let's face it, I've seen attorney bills go up to $100,000, $200,000. I mean, if they really want to push back, they can bleed you dry of all of your investments. Not the attorney, but the attorney is fighting for you as the tenant fights and fights and fights and bleeds you dry. So the fact that they can cover that through the insurance agency is amazing. That is absolutely huge. And then yes, loss of rents, because we all get into real estate investing with the intent to make money out of it, right? But if you're not properly covered and something does happen, not only are you losing the property, but now you're facing a foreclosure, which will impede upon your ability to buy more real estate for at least 10 years. So don't put yourself into these situations. It's a really easy call to Eddie.
Just a conversation. I mean, costs you nothing. I don't charge you by the minute like the attorneys do.
And it's very important, and especially guys, when you're talking about being able to just get free knowledge, whether you use Eddie or not, he is an absolutely wonderful resource with an amazing heart, and will definitely take your call and help guide you to the proper decision. So if you're looking at buying or selling real estate, especially from an investing standpoint, I would love to work with you. My name is Margene. I'm with eXp Realty.
And I'm Eddie Levine with Goosehead Insurance. Talk to you soon.